TikTok is ruining goth. And I'm not even gonna bother talking about OnlyFans e-girls who call themselves goth in this video because so many people have already made videos about that and the whole big titty goth GF meme. I'm talking about how the algorithm does not reward individuality. Every elder goth says that it used to be totally socially unacceptable within the goth scene to copy another goth's look entirely. If you saw someone at the club and copied their whole outfit, everybody would be making fun of you. A lot of goths drew style inspiration back in the day from their favorite singers. So you would see people who were into stuff like Switchblade Symphony wearing baby doll dresses and striped tights. You would see people who were more into industrial wearing PVC and big chunky platform boots. But even then, if you looked like a carbon copy of Susie Sue, other goths would make fun of you. But now it's the opposite way around. Everyone looks exactly the same, because that's what the algorithm rewards. You like one video of someone wearing that Killstar Ankh belt, and now your entire For You page is just videos of people wearing the same dress and the same outfit and the same belt. And now you have thousands of people who all look exactly the same and yet all have a massive individuality complex. It's like everyone is unique and special in exactly the same way. Jonan Vasquez even pointed this out back in the 90s. You know, goth influencer is an oxymoron. Social media is inherently incompatible with alternative subcultures. I noticed that I was seeing hundreds upon hundreds of goths on my For You page, but I hadn't seen an alternative person in the wild for months, and that isn't a coincidence. You have these 16-year-old kids who have never worn a goth outfit outside, let alone gone to a goth club, lecturing people about what is and isn't goth. And, you know, it's not their fault that they can't go to a goth club, because most goth clubs went out of business after social media became widespread. But here's the thing. Yes, goth is a music-based subculture, but it's also counterculture. I know that some people have social anxiety. I myself have crippling social anxiety, but the whole point of being goth is to stand out and be different. And, you know, if you want to play dress up in your bedroom, I think you have a right to do that. I also have a right to think that it's kind of lame, because when you go outside wearing a crazy outfit, that's inspiring other people to be themselves unabashedly. And before you say, oh, you're a hypocrite, you look normal, this is what I looked like last year, okay? And I wore those outfits outside. I wore those outfits to school and got heavily bullied, and I still wore that to school. And the funny thing is that the same people who go on and on about how goth is a music-based subculture will constantly accuse anyone who doesn't wear the same fucking copy and paste TikTok trad goth outfit of being a poser. And if you can't even muster up the courage to go outside wearing black lipstick, I don't think that you have the right to call anyone else a poser based off the way that they dress. There's this certain style of goth that's become popular on TikTok that's like a bastardized version of trad goth. And I mean, there's nothing inherently wrong with dressing in that style, but it is not trad goth. For as much as TikTok trad goths make fun of e-girls, they really do share a lot in common. I mean, for one thing, actual 80s trad goths did not go around wearing nose contour and fake lashes. And a lot of these TikTok trad goths, they do tease their hair, but they forget that 80s trad goths also had crimped hair, like everyone else in that time period. And also, you didn't really see goths wearing colored contacts until the 90s, when industrial musicians and visual kind musicians started wearing them. If anything, modern trad goth makeup shares a lot more in common with drag makeup. It's basically Trixie Mattel's makeup in a darker color palette. Everything's a copy of a copy of a copy. And honestly, I don't even blame them for buying the same shitty Amazon corset that everyone else has, when you can't even find affordable clothes at thrift stores anymore. It's the Depop resellers, demons and imps walking among us. People will be like, real goths don't buy fast fashion. Just get vintage clothes from Depop. Yeah, because I'm gonna drop $200 on a cum-stained pair of trip pants some leech scraped from the bottom of the Goodwill bins. And, I mean, don't get me wrong, Shein is bad, but at this point, the only affordable option for goth clothes is, raiding your grandma's closet for nightgowns and altering them. You have to get to Goodwill at like 4 a.m. before they start swarming around the bins like vultures. There are so many things I have to say about the goth scene and so many horror stories that I could share, but if I did share them in this video, it would be hours and hours long. And I'm also afraid that I might get attacked by people saying, not all goths are like this. I know, I'm a goth, and I'm not like this. But there's a pattern here that you can't deny. There are so many creepy dudes who are into BDSM that prey upon vulnerable young women in the scene. There are a shit ton of actual Nazis who are into industrial and neofolk, and every time you bring this up, goths will try to no true Scotsman their way out of it and say, well, if they're racist, they're not really goth. And then there's also like this concerning trend of alt girls killing animals. But I don't have the time to go over all of this stuff right now, so I'll just end the video here. Thanks for watching.